I'm David Llywelyn, the Police and Crime Commissioner for the Dyfed-Powys Police Force area. It's Volunteers Week this week, and I'd like to take this opportunity to share some information with you on volunteering opportunities we have in my office. As a Commissioner, I have many volunteer schemes. They ultimately help support vulnerable people, ensure professionalism within the police force, give confidence that high standards are upheld, protect people's rights, and also support me in challenging chief officers if things are not as we expect. My volunteers play an important part in helping me deliver my work, and I am very grateful to every single person who volunteers with me to deliver these vital schemes. As part of this year's Volunteers Week, I would like to encourage individuals from ethnic minority groups to become a volunteer with me. We would be able to provide diverse views and perspectives in our scrutiny of police services held here in the Dyfed-Powys Police Force area. I want to ensure that my volunteer schemes are representative of all local communities across the force area. Alongside the individuals who volunteer to help me in my role, other volunteers also play a pivotal part in the work of Dyfed-Powys Police. These include the cadets, special constables, chaplains, victim support, and many other volunteers who volunteer in a wide range of roles in order to support the work of police staff and officers. I would like to take this opportunity to thank all volunteers, both within my office and the force. We greatly appreciate all the time and commitment you give to both the work of the force and my office. I now introduce some of my volunteers who are going to provide a short insight into the work they do. And if you're interested to hear more about their work, please get in touch with us. Diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you.
The panel will scrutinise all areas of police contact with the public. In the past, we've looked at complaints, 999 calls, hate crime incidents, and victim updates. All quality assurance reports are published on the Dyfed-Powys Police and Crime Commissioner's website. I enjoy being a quality assurance panel member because I like being a part of something that makes a difference. I've particularly enjoyed sitting in on stop and search training for new recruits and then going on to review body cam footage. Our input and feedback has a direct effect on police contact with the public. And ultimately, it's really interesting. The Commissioner's team are so helpful and help to make it an enjoyable experience.
I joined the panel about 18 months ago. It's a really friendly and welcoming group, and we've all got different backgrounds and experiences, but everybody's voice is listened to and everybody contributes to the final report on the day. If you're considering applying to be on the residence panel, I would wholeheartedly recommend it. It's a challenging role sometimes, but it's really rewarding, and I feel that our voice are listened to. The Quality Assurance Panel was set up in December 2016 to review the quality of police contact with the public. The aim of the panel was to review the actions of the police force in a transparent and independent way.
The Animal Welfare Visiting Scheme is comprised of members of the local community who've got an interest in working dogs and welfare. That's both physical and mental aspects. And the visitors themselves report on the visits that they make, and including the conditions of how the dogs are housed, where they're housed, how they're transported, etc. and anything else that maybe the handler wishes to discuss with us. We visit at least once every 6 months, bearing in mind that obviously the force is extremely busy. When we phoned the handlers direct, we arrange a date and a time that's convenient. And during COVID, most of my visits have been at Haverfordwest Police Station. So we see the dogs when they come. We check after they come out of the car, we check that they're looking healthy, that they're bright-eyed. Coats are glossy, that they're moving freely, because that's important, and they look happy. Some dogs you can check fairly easily. Others, if I like to do a hands-on check, I always ask the handler if that's okay, because they know their dogs. They're used to them, they're working dogs, they're not pets. And in some situations, no, it's not appropriate for somebody to do hands-on, but then the officer will perhaps open the dog's mouth so you can check what the teeth are like, lift up the ear flaps so you can see there's no hair inside the ear canals.
An independent custody visitor is a volunteer from the general public, and we visit detainees in police custody to check on their welfare. It's entirely up to us. We're autonomous, that we work in pairs and we arrange our own visits, and they can be anytime 24/7. So it's at our convenience, and they're always unannounced. The police custody do not know we're coming. The checks are primarily to do with the detainee welfare. So we like to see them in the cells that they're in, to see that the cells are safe, and to check that they've been informed of their rights. Things such as, have they been able to contact a solicitor? Do they need an interpreter where appropriate? Are their medical needs being taken care of? And that their well-being and dignity is protected. I think the enjoyment is that we work in a very small team, so we know each other quite well and each other's strengths. And then we know that we're contributing in a small way to the criminal justice system and looking after the welfare of the detainees. That is what it's all about, and that is the bit that we like. Yes, you can. There's no, I think if you're over 18, you're allowed to volunteer. It doesn't matter if you're employed, unemployed, retired, whatever your status, because the visits can take place over 24 hours, over the 24-hour period. So if you were working, you could still program a visit to fit in with your work demands. Similarly, if you were a parent, you can visit around your childcare needs. And obviously we get paid travel expenses to go along to the custody suite.